Gone back in. Good opening red, but a big ask to win the frame at this visit, the way the reds are situated.
This is obviously got the wrong angle on the brown to get onto a red. Just off straight. Try to force it. Trying to get right in behind it off two cushions just to try and push it out into open play to a middle or corner pocket. Just didn't quite get there.
Mark Allen, 5.
Well, I'm not certain about that shot. Well, if he's got the snooker behind the black, fine, but if he hadn't have got it, he was leaving an easy snooker for Ricky Walden. And the way Ricky's looking, he has covered the red next to the pink with the black. So it was worth the ripple that it got. Delicate little shot, nicely played. Of course, if you'd have hit that red full, he could have just stunned it up the table and got the cue ball behind the pink. Trying to nestle this behind the green, but not quite. I mean, obviously a player would like to get in and win a frame with one visit, but from the neutral's point of view, this is a good frame because both players now are just having that time to settle, get used to the pace of the cloth. I'm sure the majority of frames that are going to be played are going to be quick fire potting. I must admit, Willie, I thought that last night with Judd Trump and Neil Robertson, but the occasion seemed to take over.
Yes, and it could happen here as well, couldn't it? But I'm sure whoever gets through from this match, it's going to be a tremendous final. Mark Allen, a little bit like Judd Trump, likes to go through his shots, as Ricky can only look on, hoping that Mark doesn't pop one of his specials here. The only problem is he'll do very well to miss contact on brown or the two reds if he plays to pot it. So if he does go for this red, he's virtually going to have to make sure he gets it, otherwise he'll be cannon into other balls. I think it's worth the risk. Why has he missed this cannon? And he managed to miss both cannons. Unless the red passes the yellow, he's got away with it. Does it pass the yellow? Yes, it does. I'm sure it does.
Yes, and there you can see, straight on it. And he has an 8-point lead.
1.
Now you're just looking now, after he's potted the cover next red, leave a nice angle on the colour to bring that awkward red away from the side cushion. So pot the brown, nice angle on the red. You'd possibly favour playing for the brown again. Wouldn't be able to get the cannon off the green. So the outcome of this frame could depend on this positional shot. Well, I
Six.
don't know whether he had a heavy contact, but that's nothing like where he wanted to be. May not even play a pot here. Let's have a look. Sounded funny that the white seemed to stop when it hit the red.
Played with a lot of check side, didn't he, as well? That, of course, deadens the cue ball when it hits the cushion. But that's twice he's been a little careless. The red in the middle he missed, and that positional shot. Right, he leads by 14. The extra 2 points is not really any good to him. I don't blame him just tiddling up behind the yellow here. I don't know whether he fancies that. Oh, behind the brown.
Ricky Walden 6.
But why would you want to put the yellow safe?
Well, I was just going to ask you the same question, Willie. I mean, he needs the yellow. He could have just rolled to the yellow, dead weight, kept the yellow on and around its spot, and still got the snooker.
It's quite easy just to snick it in behind the yellow here and get the white on the baulk cushion. The snooker actually might be quite hard to hit, only because he's going to have to come right up off the black cushion to go up and down for the red. So it's definitely worth playing the little snick. I don't know whether he's thinking about getting it behind the brown as well, but just flick it in behind the yellow. He can only use the black cushion now, really. Can you see the edge of it? Maybe just.
Thank you.
Well, he looks as though he can. What he's got to be wary of here is catching the bump of the middle pocket. Well, he did, but it was a good bump as it turned out.
It's okay, Ricky, thank you.
Well, you always trust the luck when you're getting out of a snooker, and he'll settle for that. That's not turned out too bad at all.
He could double the red up to this end of the table, but he'd be risking getting the double kiss. He's actually in a bit of trouble here. Whichever way he plays the safety, the double kiss is on. Just managed to avoid the double kiss. Where's the red going? Well, that's another poor shot. He knows he was doubling over to the corner. This will cut.
Just had a look there. I don't know whether he can get through it direct, though. If you try to bend it with a little bit of side, I think he may have to bend it just to get to the potting angle. If he knocks this in, he goes a big favourite for the frame. Well, he's playing it plain ball. There's a gap, and there it is. So Mark Allen now goes favourite for this first frame.
snooker from these two players. These two players have been hitting the ball really well this week. I don't know why he's shaking his head. He can hold for the green, but I suppose he's worried about getting the wrong angle on the green to get on the brown, and that's his problem. See, if he pots the yellow, he can only hold it half ball.
That's one way he could go. Is it hard enough?
6.
Not quite.
He's come to hold for the green because he'd left it half ball, so decided on John's route, and he can just roll this in and get round the back of the brown. It's there.
9.
Quick glance at the scoreboard. Just blue and pink needed.
13.
And that's inch perfect.
18.
So just this pink for the first frame. In it goes, scrappy affair. Mark Allen won't mind that. Ricky Walden had a couple of chances there. He'll be disappointed not to have taken them. Mark Allen will be pleased though, as he goes to the dressing room with a 1-0 lead.
Yes, a nervy, edgy start to this second semi-final here in the Barbican, and in our studio this afternoon we've got Mr Doherty practising hard. He'll be chipping in, I'm sure, to the discussion throughout the afternoon. John and Steve, of course, are with us as usual. And your impressions about the lineup that we have this afternoon. First of all, before a ball was struck, what was your feeling about the way these players matched up today?
I was impressed with Ricky Walden in how he's got this far, in the, but also I'm always impressed with Mark Allen. His competitive spirit is marvellous. Different styles completely, and I like the way Mark Allen hits the ball. He has no exaggerated backswing. He's very compact and short, so he can always get off the mark pretty quickly. There's nothing too much can go wrong with his cue action.
John, comparing their respective records, Ricky's obviously gone ahead and he's won a world ranking event in Shanghai 3 years ago. Mark, though, do you think he edges it in terms of his experience at this point?
I do, yeah. What's he been? I think it's five ranking semi-finals and one at the Masters. So obviously, OK, he's not got through to a final yet, but he's used to playing on the big occasion, on the big stage. And Ricky's sort of won the one and then he's disappeared for a little bit. He hasn't really been in the final stages, so he definitely edges it experience-wise, Mark. I think early on in the match we're going to see that might have a bearing on it, really.
We always talk about scars that are inflicted in defeats in the past, and I know that from Mark Allen's perspective, particularly at the Masters earlier this year, that was a sore one and it took him a long time to get over. When you get to this point, does it become a bit of a mental barrier for you in another semi-final?
Absolutely, till you get over it. It's a catch-22. You need to be there in that situation to have the opportunity to do it, and then you keep getting beaten. But he's one of those players, really, that we've been looking at for a few years, thinking when he wins his first one, he's going to win a few more. But of course, it's difficult to win that first one.
Ricky, quietly gone about his business. He's not a fellow that trumpets his opinions to the fore, does he? And I guess it's a very